guys, it's Amanda from The Fiction Fairy, and today I am bringing you a March TBR video. This TBR is going to be a little bit different than my February one because I have learned that I have a huge fear of commitment when it comes to TBRs. I end up feeling very constricted, I end up not reading the books, and I end up just failing miserably. So this month what I'm doing is that I'm going to choose 4 books, and these 4 books I'm absolutely positively going to read. If I read any other books outside of the 4 books, that's fine. That would just be a surprise to you and a surprise to me, but they're not set in stone. There's not a certain number above 4. There's not, I'm reading 14 books this month and here's the list, because it will never happen. So I'm just choosing a small number of books that I know that I'm going to read, and everything else is just kind of like a plus. So I have a couple different varieties this month. I'm trying to expand the horizons of the fiction fairy and add a little bit more depth instead of the same, because I'm a dystopian girl forever. So I'm trying to add a couple different types of books to the things that I read each month. So the first book that I'm going to read is going to be Hopeless by Colleen Hoover, and this is a new adult book. This will be the first new adult book that I've ever read, and I've seen 2 or 3 review videos on this book, and they've been very vague, which I completely appreciated. And all the reviews I've seen say that you should go into this book blind. You should not read the back, you should not watch any in-depth reviews, you should just let the book take you where it's going to take you. And so that's what I've done. I have not read the back, I have absolutely no clue what this book is about. I just know that everybody says that this book has feels for days. Got the tissues ready. It is just going to be an absolutely amazing heartstring book. So I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait. Like I said, it's my first new adult book, so I think that's going to be a fantastic read, and I'm excited about it. So the second book that I'm going to read this month is Number the Stars by Lois Lowry, and most people have read this book. It's a classico in my mind, and I remember reading this book, I think, when I was in the 4th grade, and I remember being extremely attached to it. I was a huge fan of Anne Frank at the time. I loved all things World War II, and I remember this book just held so much meaning for me. It just really got me. And I can't wait to reread it because I want to see if it still holds the same emotion for me now as it did when I was younger. I'm sure it will, but I just want to see it through new eyes. This book is about 2 best friends that live in Copenhagen, and the Nazis are rounding up the Jews from Denmark and they're shipping them off. Well, one of the friends is in danger of being shipped off, so she goes to live with the other friend's family and pretends to be a part of their family so that way she doesn't get shipped away. Well, as she's there, the friend who she's staying with ends up having to go on a mission of sorts, essentially to save her friend's life and save her from being shipped away. I just remember it being, even though it's an extremely small book in stature and just in girth, but I remember it just being very detailed about the mission the friend has to go on. Even though I don't remember the mission, I remember it feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's doing this. So I'm looking forward to getting back into the book and really reminding myself of the details and oh yeah, I remember that. And so I'm looking forward to this read so much, so super happy about that. Can't wait to review it. Happy that I put it on my TBR this month. So the last 2 books I do not have physical copies of. They are both on my Nook, but the first one is still in Songbird, and that is by Danielle Jensen. And this one has trolls, it has a fallen kingdom, it has mysticism. It just sounds amazing. I'm about 25% into it, and guys, this is an extremely fast-paced book. A lot is happening, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot is happening. It's just, oh my gosh, so much is happening so quick. I don't know how they're going to extend it out for the 324 pages because just so much is happening already. But it is absolutely amazing so far. I hope it continues to be amazing all the way to the end. This will be my first fantasy book that I've ever read, and I really don't know if it's elements of fantasy or if it's fantasy, but I'm sure that my friends out there who love fantasy are going to tell me girl, please, that was not even fantasy, or they're going to let me know that it was fantasy or that it just had small elements of fantasy. I don't really know the fantasy genre enough to kind of know, but in my mind, Stolen Songbird is fantasy, so therefore it is fantasy on this month's TBR. And the last and possibly best book of the TBR this month is going to be First Date by R.L. Stine. Yay! I absolutely adore R.L. Stine. He is one of my all-time favorite authors, and I am doing this as a read-along with Troy Towell, and I will put all of his information in the inbox below. He is one of my best booktuber friends here, and he is a fantastic booktuber with a fantastic channel. He is absolutely hilarious. His videos just have me cracking up every single time I watch them, but he also has terrific content, so he has a nice balance between humor and between content. So if you get a chance, you should definitely go by and look at his channel because you will not be disappointed. So we are both doing this read along on first date because we don't really remember quite how the book goes, but as with all R.L. Stine books, things are going down, people are dying, things are happening. First date is about a girl who is not traditionally beautiful and would be seen as unattractive by most. And she has a hard time getting dates, getting boyfriends, and it makes her feel a little bit sad. Well, two guys move into town, and amazingly, they both want her, which is a complete and total shock to her because no guys in her own town want her, no guys in her own school want her, now these two new guys want her. Shenanigans starts to happen, things are going down, somebody is about to die. We all know how RL works. Somebody is about to die. So I cannot wait to reread this book and get back into it because I really don't remember what happens in it, but it's an R.L. Stine book, so it's bound to be fantastic as usual and as it was when I was younger. R.L. Stine, as you guys know, is a fantastic author of young adult books, but I think that they're more on the beginning spectrum of young adult, so I want to see how this still resonates with me too, because when you're younger, sometimes books seem so much more magnificent than when you get older. You're kind of like, you can still respect the author, you still love the author, but you're like, I don't know if that was the best work. But absolutely love it, absolutely adore it. Super happy about doing a read along with this, and as most people know, there is Fear Street and there is Goosebumps. And in your mind, you want to like both, but in your heart, you know you have to choose one. It's like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. You have to pick Nick, or you have to pick Justin. You have to pick AJ, or you have to pick JC. You have to pick Fear Street, or you have to pick Goosebumps. And me and Troy, we have chosen, and it is hashtag FSF. Fear Street forever. We have chosen Fear Street, and we will not be reading any of those Goosebump books, because you cannot like both. So I am so excited about my March TBR. I hope you guys are too. I can't wait to do all these wonderful reads, come back, do reviews about them. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought about them. If you are reading any of these books, let me know what you thought about them. Or if you want to read them, let me know, and let's have a discussion about it. So thank you so much, guys, for coming past the Fiction Fairy's March TBR.